Okay, welcome to the Mini Abyss build. Here we're going to start with mixing in some of the gravel. I'm going to go ahead and take this um, water jug here and clean out the gravel just to make sure that we get rid of all the dust. That way it's not floating around in all the mineral oil once it gets going. If you want to check out some of the parts that are going into this build, I do have part arrival videos, and I'm also going to be doing some unboxing videos for some of the different parts. As you can see here, I'm going to start with cleaning out the gravel and go from there. Once we get the gravel all cleaned out from all the dust and stuff, we'll go ahead and mix it together so it's black and white. Kind of go with the motif of my apartment here. Here you can see that I've got them soaking to try to get rid of all that dust and just kind of clean them out. Normally in a fish tank you'd actually be doing this with distilled water just to make sure that none of the toxins from the sink get in there, but I just use some regular sink water because all I'm worried about is the dust in this situation. I was getting a kick out of during the whole build and talking about all the computer equipment when it came to the stuff that was meant specifically for a fish tank. I was having a lot of fun with that. So here I am testing the air pump just to make sure that it's going to be able to put out enough air to move around the oil, which later on in the build you see that it does a pretty good job. Once I tested this to make sure it was working, and a lot of this stuff I tested outside of the build because once you put something in mineral oil, you're not going to want to get it out because it's going to be kind of slimy. But obviously this doesn't go in there, but I still wanted to test it out before I start hooking it up to the tank itself. And then I'm going to try it out here in a second in the fish tank. Here you can see, just to kind of show a display there of it actually working, putting out some good air, some good bubbles. This is a pretty quick overview of the Mini Abyss build. Here you can see where I've started. I've put the gravel in, put the power supply in. I'm also hooking up some of the air hoses to give some bubbles coming up from the components to kind of look like they're still, settling, because the main point in this build is to make it look like I just threw the tank in there, or threw the computer in there. There's actually going to be other parts that are going to be put in there with that, including a cell phone at another part of the build log that's actually going to have a display on there that is going to display messages and stuff. But now that I've got the basics kind of put in there, we move on to actually putting some of the components together. Here you can see I've got the MSI motherboard. It's an ATX. I believe it's a mini. I don't know if it's a mini or micro. I always get those two confused. It's an FM2 series. The processor that goes in there is one of the new AMD 2-core processors, or multi-core processors with the APUs, so the CPUs and the GPU kind of mixed together there. You can see I've already installed the CPU or the APU in this scene here. And then I put on the fan assembly. This is pretty basic. I mean, this is a home theater PC, so I'm not wanting to go overboard. You can see one of the memory sticks that I put in there. I did actually put in 2 memory sticks for a total of 8 gigabytes, 4 gigabytes apiece. There you see the SSD drive and all the hardware put together inside the Mini Abyss build, with Sandy from SpongeBob getting crushed by the falling motherboard when I threw it in there. Get it? And later on, I don't show it in this build log, but that plant actually started to, the dye in the plant started to mix in with the mineral oil, so it starts turning the mineral oil green. Gives it kind of a creepy look. Okay, and here's some performance. Just some basic numbers from Microsoft's performance numbers there. Now with the rest of this build, the next few chapters are actually going to be me taking apart an old cell phone and throwing it into the tank so it can actually display stuff on the cell phone's LCD screen and also light up. It's going to do some pretty cool tricks there. The cell phone is actually going to light up when I receive a call on my normal cell phone or my home line. So I'm going to be doing some programming to show how that works. I'm also putting in an Arduino controller into this build that's actually going to control the lights and be able to turn on the computer via a XB, which will communicate with another Arduino in my home automation system, so that with the push of a button, with actually saying something with voice recognition, I'll be able to turn on the Mini Abyss using the Arduino and the XB, and also control the lights, because part of my home automation system includes a lot of light control. It's also going to be able to control the bubbles and any system that does not need to be running, or the LEDs position for the the status lights of the computer. That way, when I'm not here, there's really no need for any unessential parts to be running, so it will shut those off. And part of one of the other builds I'm going to be putting together actually has a lightning effect, and the lights throughout the house will actually carry on with that effect. So when the lightning strikes, the light inside the Mini Abyss, the LED, will actually come on and off and flash, and other lights on different projects will do the same thing throughout the home automation. So I hope you enjoyed this quick overview of the Mini Abyss. I hope if you're interested, subscribe so you can see the next two build logs coming up. One's going to be my modification on the cell phone, and the other one's going to be the setup of the Arduino. So again, if you like, please hit the like button, subscribe if you wish to see more, and I look forward to any comments, questions, or any opinions. Thanks again for watching.